The United States of America, the world's great melting pot. Each person arriving to this country with a unique family history of how their ancestors put an imprint on their lives. Yet with all that diversity, we're often more connected than you might imagine. Matthew Lockett is the great-grandchild of farmers and a pro-life advocate.
He would actually make a joke out of it, my dad, and he would say, I guess we're just a bunch of mutts from Kentucky.
Will Ford is the descendant of slaves. He travels the country sharing a message of racial healing.
They didn't think they would see freedom in their time, so they prayed for the freedom of their children and the next generation.
Two men on two very different journeys, but their worlds collided when they attended a prayer meeting together.
And I show up at the Lincoln Memorial because of this dream. I don't know why I'm there. I didn't really even know that much about prayer, but that was the first place that Will and I came together.
They attended a church service later that night. That's where Ford shared the story of his ancestors' prayer kettle, a pot used by slaves to muffle their voices during secret prayer meetings. That led to a deeper conversation, which resulted in a friendship and an unexpected partnership.
We just started running around the country together and doing prayer meetings.
The Lord said this to me. He said, if I heard the silent whispers of slaves underneath kettle pots, how much more so do I hear the silent screams of babies being aborted in this nation?
Over the next decade, they spread a message of life and love. Love for the man next to you regardless of race, and love for the unborn. But the story doesn't end there. Lockett says there was something about that first meeting he just couldn't shake.
He shared the part of the story that shocked me, that this kettle had been handed down to Harriet Lockett.
Years of research led them to a stunning discovery.
My oldest known family member was a man named Isaac Lockett. The only Locketts at that time period in Virginia was Matt's family. And so after doing 4 months of research then and another whole year of research, we've learned through empirical evidence Matt's family is the family that owned my family.
And that revelation led to some difficult soul searching.
Matt's family owned our family, and I had to wrestle with that because we had stories passed down in our family about slaves who were beat to death for simply going fishing without asking. And I really had to forgive from my heart Matt's family for owning my family.
Lockett says it was a learning experience for him too.
There is many times, particularly with white America, there can be an attitude that, you know, when these issues are discussed and the history of slavery, even the pain, the lingering pain of that to this day, there can be a negative attitude that just kind of dismisses it and says, look, you weren't there, I wasn't there, get over it. There's a very real, lingering pain associated with it generationally. And now that pain had a face, and it was the face that I love.
That discovery could have torn them apart and ended their ministry. Instead, it strengthened their resolve.
God is using a united church to heal a divided nation.
Lockett and Ford say every part of their story, even the tough parts, are by design. They say there are no coincidences, even down to the location of that first meeting.
Sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood.
It was here almost 55 years ago that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his I Have a Dream speech. Lockett and Ford believe they are living examples of that dream fulfilled. And that allows them to travel the country together, sharing their dream for the church.
I think what God is shouting to America right now is this: what storyline do you want to be a part of? The healing or the hurt? The blessing and the curse?
Two men from two different backgrounds, sharing a surprising connection and pursuing a common mission of unity, life, and healing. Amber Strong, CBN News, Washington.